Hello, I'm Jamie with the Volusia County Public Library. In today's video, you will learn how to make two varieties of folded tortilla sandwiches. You will need the following: a sandwich press, or you can use a pan on the stove or an electric griddle, a cutting board or a plate to build your sandwich on, a knife to do a little cutting. I'm using large tortillas, but you can use any size you'd like to fit your appetite, though with the small ones it might get a little difficult with the folding. And of course you'll need your toppings. I have a selection of toppings here for the two recipes I'm going to show you, but remember these are all customizable and you can use whatever toppings you'd like. Let's get started. First we're going to make a basic lunch meat sandwich. So I start by kind of lightly folding my tortilla into the quarters that we're going to end up making. It helps me kind of know where to put my ingredients and where to cut. So I have this light kind of fold from my line here. We're going to use our knife to cut from the center, kind of follow that fold out to the edge. So I've only cut from one end into the center. That helps to make our 4 parts there. On our first quadrant, or fourth of our tortilla, we're going to put some mayonnaise. Remember, you can use whichever condiment you like on your sandwiches. I'm going to spread that around a little bit. And on that, I'm going to add some spinach. Again, you can use whichever lettuce you like on your sandwich. I would probably recommend a leafy green because you are going to be heating it and grilling it a little bit. Crunchy romaine or iceberg might get a little watery on you. And our next kind of fourth of our tortilla here, we're going to put our tomato slices. I have some grape tomatoes that I've cut in half. You can again use whichever kind of tomatoes you have at home or you prefer on your sandwich. So we're going to lay those in a nice little layer there. Okay. In the next section, I'm going to put our lunch meat. Today I'm using a turkey lunch meat. And again, the beauty of these recipes, you can use whichever lunch meat you like. Ham, roast beef, chicken, or you could do no lunch meat at all and add another veggie. You could try some tofu on there. And on our last quarter, I'm going to put cheese. I do recommend if you're using cheese to use it on this last section. You'll see when we fold it, this is going to be the section that holds it all together. So the cheese, when it melts, helps hold your sandwich so it's not falling apart. You can use shredded cheese or sliced cheese, whatever you have on hand. So now we're ready to do the folding trick. We're going to start in the first quarter here where we put our first toppings. Now because I added the spinach here, I kind of have to hold it, and we are going to fold it up and on top of the tomatoes. So now we've got 2 parts covered. We're going to fold it over on top of the turkey, and then we are going to fold it down on top of the cheese. So it makes this nice little pocket of a sandwich. So next I'm going to head to my sandwich press and I'm going to toast it. Remember, you can also do that using a pan on the stove or an electric griddle, whatever you have on hand that will make it warm and toasty on the outside. So I'll meet you back here in a second. Carefully remove your sandwich from your press or your griddle or your pan and enjoy. Remember, your sandwich and your toppings may be hot. You can also use this technique to make a dessert sandwich. We're going to start the same way. I like to fold my tortilla to kind of get those lines to help guide me in making it. Just a little press there. I'm going to cut from one end to the center, which gives me that flap. This one I'm going to start with one of my spreads in the first section here, and I'm going to use a chocolate hazelnut spread. So we're going to cover the first quarter of the tortilla. And your spreads and your cheeses, your condiments, they're all going to kind of act like glue with these recipes to help hold things together. Whoop. And they're a little messy. So it'll help hold your loose ingredients that aren't sticky in place. So next section, I'm going to put my sliced strawberries. So that chocolate hazelnut spread will help hold these in place when I start folding and when I cook them. And if you're not a fan of the hazelnut spread, there are other spreads out there you can use. We are going to use peanut butter in our last one here, but you could do double peanut butter if you're a big peanut butter fan. If you don't like strawberries, you could use another kind of berry. I would recommend something that you can kind of cut flat. The more rounded you put on there, the harder it is going to be to get it to fold and everything to stay in place. This next section here, we're going to put some sliced bananas. It's dessert, but we're trying to stay a little healthy here with our fruit. You could also do things like shredded coconut, if you're a fan of coconut. You could try some melons or different things. I have not experimented with chocolate chips, but maybe mini chocolate chips would melt okay on there. In this last section here, we're going to put our peanut butter. I'm going to go ahead and wipe my knife off a second. And I'm using creamy peanut butter. You could use whatever nut butter you prefer. You could also try a chunky nut butter, or you could just add nuts on one of these sections as well. Your two spread sections here, you could add coconut or like the sliced nuts on one of those as well if you wanted to add an extra flavor in there. So we are ready to fold now. It's the same technique as the sandwich one. I'm going to start with my first section here and fold it up to cover the second one, which was our strawberries. I'm going to fold it over to cover the third section, which is our bananas there. And then I'm going to fold it down onto the peanut butter, which acts like our cheese on the sandwich, and it's going to help hold it all together. So I'm going to take this and put it on my sandwich press. Remember, you can use a griddle or a pan, whichever your toasting method is, and I'll meet you back here. So we have our dessert finished product here along with our sandwich. Remember, you can try these with your favorite sandwich or dessert toppings. They're totally customizable. Let us know what creations you came up with in the comments below. If you're interested in more sandwich recipes, you can check out these books and more from your library.